Hello and welcome to the Holcroft Nissan YouTube channel. Today is a bite-sized review of the Nissan Juke 1litre 114 Acenta. You may remember that the previous Juke had quite a bulbous exterior where the daytime running lights were above the bonnet, and it's now been redefined, so it's a lot sleeker, a lot more dynamic, and this is an Acenta grade, so it's the mid-level spec, but still we get LED daytime running lights, and these signature white cluster lamps here are also full LED, which is something we don't normally see on this kind of level of spec of car. We've still got the signature V-Motion grille that's in line with the rest of the Nissan range. Now, underneath the bonnet is a 1 litre 114 brake horsepower engine. Now that might seem small, but it definitely does pack quite a good punch, and it also gives you an average mileage consumption of around 45.6 miles to the gallon. From the side, the Juke is a very pretty looking car, and you'll see just on this model, from front to back we get this whole floating roof design, which is also in line with the A-pillars, and you also get the black mirror caps to define that sort of shape that they've decided to go with the Juke. Now on this model in particular, it does come with steel wheels, but for wheel trims these actually do look really good, and of course they are not so expensive to replace if they do get damaged. So let's take a look inside and see what it's like from in there. Getting in and out of the Juke is really quite easy because it's got that fantastic SUV ride height, so I don't feel like I'm falling in or climbing out when I'm getting out of the car. And because you've got that ride height, you do have that sense of safety and security because the car is quite well built around you. There's plenty of visibility. I've got these huge wing mirrors on the side, which means I can see quite a lot compared to what I normally would. But from first impressions on the inside, it is very well put together. I don't have the leather wrapped steering wheel, but it does feel very robust, very comfortable to use. I've got a huge screen over on the dash, which on this particular model has got a reversing camera. And it just feels very well put together, and something that I wouldn't expect on one of the mid-range cars is all the controls that I get as well. Now, the one thing that we don't get is the intelligent key, but we do have a bladed key, which doesn't really fuss me, to be honest. One thing that Nissan are very proud of is the amount of technology that they've packed into the range and that they've developed over the years, and this particular model for a mid-range spec comes absolutely packed with quite a lot. So we'll work from bottom to top and go across just so that we can see exactly what it is that we have. Now, when we go into reverse, the huge reversing camera comes on, and I do get a guide as well, and I can see the back bumper exactly where I need to be. We have got air conditioning just down here, so we've got hot and cold, and we can change the direction of the airflow here using these. Now they do twist to the right for on and twist up for off, but actually because they are so maneuverable, I can really point the airflow in the direction that I want. And then just on this huge screen up here, we do have digital radio. The one thing that it doesn't have is satellite navigation, but if you do own a smartphone that's either Apple or Android, you get Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so I can use the sat nav there, so it's not really something that I'm missing out on. We have automatic lights on this side, and just down here we can control this little TFT monitor. Now amazingly, this has got a digital speedo as well as an analog speedometer, and there's also a couple of safety features. We've got what's called lane departure warning, so if I drift over the lines, the car alerts me, and I can turn this on or off on the dash, or we can turn it on here. And we've also got emergency front braking system and traffic sign recognition as well, so it tells us what speed we should be doing. Now if that comes into play, I have got a speed limiter over this side, so I can press that little button there, press down to set, and I can limit myself so I don't go above a certain speed, which is great for average speed cameras. And then we've also got cruise control here. Now underneath those options we do have phone and Bluetooth integration, so we can call, and we can also use our voice to set up commands to call whoever we want. Now just one thing that we do need to talk about with the Juke is the rear space as well. One of the biggest issues with the existing Juke was actually the rear cabin space, and now what Nissan have done with this particular model is they've pushed the wheels back, and they've also got rid of that bulbous rear bumper, and that was designed for the American market, whereas this is purely designed for Europe. So now we've got this big backdrop down here, which gives us more boot space, but because of all of that playing together, we actually get more cabin space in the rear, so there's a bigger distance for people's feet when they're getting in and out, and a little bit more leg room as well. Now, what is really impressive, they've taken that, and with the boot space, in this particular model you don't get the floating shelf. However, you do get a huge 400 litres worth of space, which is only 30 litres smaller than the Nissan Qashqai, so it's a great little family car. So that is a bite-sized review of the Nissan Juke Acenta. I think it's a great looking car, but the best person to decide is actually yourself. If you like it, please feel free to get in touch with us, and you can also follow us on our social media channels, YouTube, LinkedIn, and you can also download our app. Thank you for watching.